year 1978, Ben and his family are struggling financially. To his utter surprise, Ben finds out that he has inherited a big seaside estate in a place called Hobbit's Bay. The estate was his parents' property. However, after Ben's father and sister had tragically drowned, Ben's mother moved out, never to come back. Now Ben, his wife and little daughter are all settling down in a new place. Little do they know that the water tank near the house is home to murderous monsters. Horror films about men hunting monsters don't have to be clever or highly intellectual. At the same time, even the dumbest trash horrors still need to follow some rules. Understanding the rules of the game allows the viewer to engage and empathize with what's going on the screen. Take A Quiet Place. Monsters in this movie have a sharp hearing and move fast, which means any careless noise or sound can be your last. In A Nightmare on Elm Street, the cardinal rule is this: if Freddy Krueger is after you, the one thing you don't want to do is fall asleep, otherwise you risk never waking up again. In zombie movies, you must by all means avoid getting bitten, unless you want to join a restless army of the living dead. In other words, everything must be crystal clear. At first sight, The Tank, too, appears to have simple rules. On the one side, there are hungry monsters. On the other side, there are humans that don't want to be eaten. But the sad truth is, no one is asking their opinion. But the devil is in the details, and the details in The Tank raise many questions. For example, the monsters eliminate supporting characters without a slightest effort, but when it comes to the protagonists, they suddenly lose all their dexterity. They scratch the floor and the doors, make menacing sounds, open their terrifying jaws, and even bite, and yet, they can't harm anyone, even Ben's little daughter. And while it's understandable that the main characters must stay alive all the way to the end, they're expected to survive through their wits, strength, and courage, and not because the monsters, upon seeing them, become catatonic. The Tank is the second feature in director and screenwriter Scott Walker's 20-year career. The filmmaker made his debut in 2011, with a questionable thriller The Frozen Ground, in which Nicolas Cage's character was tracking down a murderer and molester played by John Cusack. It's hard to say what Walker was doing in those 10 years following his directorial debut. But what he surely wasn't doing is polishing the script for The Tank. The film is lacking in many departments, including good storytelling and character development. The characters spend most of their screen time roaming around in the dark, shuddering at any shadow and sound. On a brighter note, the movie is not without highlights. The monsters are courtesy of Weta Workshop headed by Richard Taylor, who lent his expertise to such hits as The Lord of the Rings, King Kong, District 9, Warcraft, The Great Wall, Blade Runner 2049, and The Meg. The Tank's monsters were made without CGI, they are custom crafted, which made them more realistic and impressive. Another thing worth mentioning is the cinematography by Aaron Morton, who seems to be working in the same vibrant dynamic style that we enjoyed in Evil Dead by Fede Alvarez. But the catch is, a horror movie can't rely solely on compelling cinematography and blood-chilling monsters. Although indispensable, these things are just not enough.